Hey, what's up you wonderful people, Aditya here, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you about bullet journal and what are some of the benefits of bullet journal. Bullet journal, if you do not know, is this massive system that's followed all over the world, which talks about rapid logging and using visual symbols and markers to kind of organize your daily life. Before we get into what like the benefits of bullet journaling is, I want to hear from you. Have you ever bullet journaled? And if you have, how has it helped you? What are some of the benefits that you felt in terms of bullet journaling? So bullet journaling is this kind of system where you use rapid logging with short sentences and augment that with symbols to basically define the different things that you're putting into your journal. For example, tasks or events or notes, and put priorities again through symbols. So it's a visual way of looking at how your mind is thinking. Bullet journaling is really effective if you want to plan things out and organize that as throughout your year and kind of crush your goals in a more personalized way as opposed to the traditional planners that everybody is used to. So what exactly do you need in order to start a bullet journal? You just need two things: a notebook, any notebook, and a pen. You don't need any of those fancy bullet journal books or the washi tapes or the markers and all the bells and whistles. In order to start your journal, you can start it as basic as a simple notebook. The core of the bullet journal is made out of four things. The first thing is the index. The index basically kind of tells you where to go when you're looking for something. If you had a list of 30 books to read this year, that would go into your index and you would know where to go in order to look for that. The month of April, things that you put in there, that would basically fit into your index. The second thing is your future log. The future log is basically where you kind of put a bird's eye view dump of what your goals are and spread out throughout the year, what you're kind of roughly going to do and where do you want to place that throughout the years. The next thing that goes into your bullet journal is basically your month log, which is a zoomed in view of that particular month, tasks, travel plans, events that are happening in that month. Then comes into the fourth item into the bullet journal, which is something that you do every day, which is called the daily log. And that is basically your day in and day out events, tasks, and things that are going to go in. The other things that might go into your bullet journal are kind of lists that you might form based on how you kind of want to organize things. For example, as I mentioned, 30 books that you want to read this year, that goes into it. I want to hear from you. What is it that you might be doing different in your bullet journal? Is there something else that you put in other than these 4 or 5 things that I've mentioned? Or if there is, let me know so that we can talk about what are the benefits of adding those extra things that you are doing. I want to steer away from like the traditional bullet journal videos that you're seeing in terms of how to bullet journal. I want to talk about some of the gotchas that snuck up to me when I started bullet journaling and kind of tips to avoid them. Okay, so the number one problem that I kind of faced was over planning. It's very easy when you start your bullet journaling to actually start putting a whole lot of items into your journal, into your day, and plan that out, only to realize that you're not completing all those items as you thought, and then you're not leaving room for errors and you're not leaving room for ad hoc things that are going to happen throughout the day, and you're trying to over plan things. So over planning is number one culprit that's going to happen, and it's going to kind of demotivate you and take you away from like what the goal you're trying to achieve. The second thing that I kind of faced was not structuring your bullet journal. Now, future log and monthly log are pretty kind of statically set in terms of items that you want to do. There's like reminders that you want to do and high level goals, but your daily log is where you kind of can build in a little bit of flexibility and wiggle room to be creative in terms of how you want to structure it. When I started, my daily log basically looked like a task list of things I wanted to do, and then I would just have day 1 I want to do these 6 items, day 2 I want to do these 3 items, and so on and so forth. There was no room for me to add in notes, events and markers, and kind of add additional things that happen throughout the day. These are two things that kind of really crippled in terms of the way I was doing my bullet journaling and kind of took me away from achieving whatever goals I had set out for the year. Before I go into what I did differently, I want to hear from you. Did you face the same problems? And if you did, what did you do differently to actually kind of steer back to your achieving your goals? So the only thing that I kind of changed in terms of my regular bullet journal routine was kind of structure my daily log. So my daily log, which basically was a sort of to-do list of what I wanted to do every day, I kind of moved to a 1-page, 1-day mode. What that meant is that I always dedicated a single page for a day, never more than that. And within that day, I would basically break that into 3 parts. My first part would be in the morning, I would put down 3 important items that I wanted to do today. At max, 3 things I wanted to achieve for that day. And that's where I would put my thought process in terms of like, do I really want to do this today? Is it important for today? Can it be moved to some other day? And if it's not important at all, I would just chuck it out and make space for something else to do, some other constructive things to do to achieve my goals. Next to that, is where I would put the why of it. And that why reasoning is what drives in terms of decluttering your mind, because you would have so many ideas, but not all of them are really important for now or at all to achieve your goals. The second part of that entire page would be left to notes. Throughout your day, you're going to gather notes, thoughts that are going to come through, and then you want to remember that. And then the final part of the bullet journal is where I would basically put reflections of the day, which is less to do with like how I feel throughout the day, but more of how I felt in terms of my planning. Did it go good? Was it overwhelming, underwhelming? And that helps you basically kind of plan your next days forward in a much better way. That basically means that if it's overwhelming, you want to basically either break down tasks or ease away from those heavy tasks, clubbing 2-3 heavy tasks together. And if it's underwhelming, you basically are going to say that, yep, I can do 1, 2, and 3, but maybe I can squeeze in a fourth item because I know these tasks are not going to take me that much time. I'd love for you to try out bullet journaling and give it a shot for a month. I would like to hear from you if that's helping you out in achieving your goals. Hit me up in the comments and let me know. Share your stories. I'd love to chat about it. That's it for me, folks. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this video. Give it a solid thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.